Where do you put your files in Meteor? It's a good question. We all care about our project structure. We really want to know where things are going. So how do we do that in Meteor? Well, the first thing we want to know is how does Meteor load its files? The second thing we want to know is how does Meteor deploy its files? These are slightly different. We'll get into each. So how does Meteor load its files? There's 4 simple rules. The first is any file named main is loaded last. The second is any file inside the lib directory is loaded first. This is helpful for generalized code. For instance, your collections might have to load before your client code. The third is deeper files are loaded first. And finally last, alphabetically. So now that we know how Meteor loads its files in order, we can begin to understand the second part. How does Meteor deploy its files? Well, it has some conventions around that. Specifically, there's 2 special folders in Meteor, and those are the client and server folders. The client folder is for client code, the server folder is for server code. We can see in this example here that we actually just have everything in the root. There are no client and server folders. This is in line with our 4 previous rules. Load main files last, lib files first, deepest files first, and alphabetically. Keep in mind that Meteor projects are mostly JavaScript files with some other assets. Those include HTML, CSS. Wherever you place JavaScript files, Meteor will load. So how would the leaderboard example look if we split it up into multiple files? So through the magic of video editing, I managed to get rid of the Meteor.JS file and split it up into 3 separate files. We have the client code here, which is just our template functions and events. Our server code, which is just populating the players. And the players global, which lets the client and server interact with players. So there we have it. The 4 special rules that Meteor uses to load its files, and the 2 special rules it uses to deploy the files, the client and server folders. There's one other thing I want to show you, and that's the unofficial Meteor guide. There's a really good section in it that talks about how you should lay out your entire project, and there's a lot of good application patterns in there. So let's go check it out quickly. The unofficial guide is chocked with information. It even has a really good section about where you should put your files. It gives you examples of dealing with multiple environments, where to put general methods, how to even possibly handle your collections, how to deal with your client code, and other patterns. It's really useful. It even goes on to suggest for larger applications, you can create discrete functionality by breaking them up into multiple folders. It's really good information here. Everyone should check it out and read it.